As Velma reviews and audience reactions come in, it seems like Velma is too extreme for audiences today. Let me explain. To begin with, let's set the mood with the definition of what extreme means. Extreme means the farthest removed from the ordinary, or average. This definition sums up the problem Velma is facing right out the gate. You see, Velma was supposed to be an edgy version of the Scooby Gang, pushing of the boundary of what we've come to expect from Scooby and the Scooby Gang, but the popular consensus is they went too far. You see, Velma is too extreme for its intended progressive audience, pushing the boundaries too far for their taste. It's too extreme for the fans of the original show, because Velma destroys the characteristics that lifelong fans have come to love. It's too extreme for those who are new to the Scooby-Doo series, so because of the bloated edginess, Velma ends up being too edgy for its own good, going far beyond the point of character recognition, and thus the audience that it appeals to is nobody. It basically boxed itself into a corner. We can test the extreme theory out by going back to the stated personalities of the original 1969 animated television series Scooby Gang, starting with Daphne Blake. Daphne is bubbly, fun-loving and always in a good mood. She might be klutzy, but she has her moments of pulling off amazing things which makes up for her mistakes. But in Velma, the extreme changes are, Daphne and Velma are now enemies rather than best friends, and Daphne is adopted rather than being the daughter of an upper-class family. Daphne is mean, angry and engages in criminal activity. Next is Velma Dinkley. Velma's original personality is that she is a brilliant, modest, young lady and is comfortable in her own skin. Velma is all about getting results and not taking credit. Fast forward to extreme Velma. Velma is incredibly snarky and overly judgmental. She is bitter, mean and vindictive.
As if you went in just a little less judgy.
Okay, Daphne, I'm the brains of this operation.
Moving on to Fred Jones. Fred's original personality is described as cool, calm and collected. It described Fred as a good leader, and to say Fred might not be the most exciting guy in the world, but he approaches each case with the seriousness and care it deserves. In today's Velma, extreme Fred in this show is a spoiled, sheltered manchild who can't even cut a piece of steak.
I have a disease where I can't recognize people who aren't hot.
Last but not least is Norville Shaggy Rogers. Although his original personality is usually considered cowardly, Shaggy often proves useful in ferreting out the monsters and ghosts. Shaggy also has disguise and ventriloquism skills, as well as being athletic, which often helps the gang out. In Velma, not only is Shaggy's personality eviscerated, but they decided to remove the original look of Shaggy altogether, replacing it with some other variant. This particular Shaggy has no real personality except that he likes Velma, but, least unlike the others, is devoid of the toxic attitude that they all seem to be affected by. Scooby-Doo in the past was immensely popular because of its lessons, its fun and campy atmosphere and its connectivity to those who watched it. The adventures of them solving mysteries was appealing to a massive audience for generations. The thing is, a lot fans would like to see a more adult version of Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang, but not at the expense of the original promise of what Scooby-Doo was. And that is one of the major issues Velma is facing now. What is it trying to be? Who is this show's intended audience, and what is this show's end goal? Being edgy for the sake of just being edgy is the same as being provocative just to be provocative.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not.
The provocative changes has to have a foundation, a purpose to it. Plus, just because a show is edgy doesn't necessarily mean it's a good show, as Velma could attest to, being one of the worst rated shows in IMDb history. If I could come up with one word that could sum up Velma's unpopularity, it would be extreme. It's too extreme because it deviates too much from the source material. It's too extreme because it takes certain elements of the Scooby Gang characteristics and changes them so abruptly that the fan can't even connect to it in the same way as the original. Judge for yourself if Velma is too edgy for its own good. Thank you.